Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be talking about not actually the upcoming primaries or the 2022 midterms or even the 2024 presidential election, but the 2024 Senate elections. This is something that hasn't been mentioned too much, and obviously we are, not in 2023 yet, but I think it's important to make a video on this, simply talking about the fact that the 2024 general elections in the Senate has a very good chance of being a bloodbath for the Democrats. The Democrats are going to be in for truly something, detrimental to their presence in the United States Senate. Now, I know people say, "Oh, Republicans will have the Senate for the next 30 years." I don't believe that. Things change back and forth. But certainly, when looking at this 2024 Senate map, if this Senate map was for 2022, Republicans would have a shot at upwards of 60 seats in the Senate. Thankfully, fortunately for the Democrats, it's not that map. However, 2024 still will probably be a beneficial year for the Republicans, same as 2020 was beneficial for Democrats. So yeah, anyway, let's just look at this map. Now, this is really the only map that I'm going to pull up for the video, but here we are. I'm just going to zoom in on it. I know it's probably a bit blurry, but what we have here are three main states. Now, going into this this Senate map in 2024, I think that Republicans, I think that they should have these target races. These are going to be the most important races that they need to win, that they need to take back in 2024. They should have races that they are, reach races, that they have or I guess you would say likely races, which are the states that they need to take back, the target races, which are states that they believe that they have a really good shot at, and then you have reach races, states that they think that they have a shot at, however, not the biggest shot at. So the likely races, in my mind, would be three states, and I think we all know what those three states are simply by looking at the map, but I will say it. It is the state of Montana with Jon Tester. Jon Tester back in 2018, which was a blue wave election year. He's a Democrat senator from Montana, which in the polarization of the country today is very rare. Jon Tester still a senator. Back in 2018, a blue wave election year, he only won by 3 points. Now, that is something that if Republicans go after in 2024, they're going to take back. Jon Tester, he is popular, but, that only goes so far being a Democrat in Montana, winning by only 3 points in a blue wave year in Montana, going into 2024, which is not going to be a blue wave year most likely. It's certainly going to be very hard for him to win back. Maybe I can click on the state. I don't even know if I can. Oh, let's see. Well, it doesn't really talk about the victory margin, so I'm just going to go back, actually. Anyway, heading into the next likely state for Republicans, I think we all know what this state is as well. That is the state of West Virginia with Joe Manchin. He, as well, only beat Pat Morrissey by about 3 points in the West Virginia Senate race. In a blue wave year, all of these elections were held in 2018. And, of course, if the Republicans campaign there, Joe Manchin will very likely not be able to retain his Senate seat. Although he has definitely been much more of a conservative Democrat. He voted against Joe Biden's Build Back Better agenda, or infrastructure agenda. He voted against the Joe Biden voting bills, Democrat voting bills. He voted against getting rid of the filibuster. He also now just recently voted against the codification of Roe, or not really. It wasn't really a codification of Roe, actually. That was just a talking point. It actually expanded abortion, but he voted against that as well. Obviously trying to brand himself as that moderate, as much more of a conservative Democrat. However, with the recent polarization, you would just assume West Virginia will also shift. And the last out of those three likely states would be Ohio with Sherrod Brown, and he is definitely very likely to go. And I do think that he will lose his election in 2024 for similar reasons to Tester and Manchin. Sherrod Brown, surprisingly, he is a senator from Ohio. However, it's really strange because he's actually one of the most left-wing, liberal senators in the whole Senate. I think he was on the scale of 100 being, out of 100 senators, 100 being conservative, 1 being liberal. He was ranked number 12 out of that whole ranking of, that spectrum of conservatives to liberals in the Senate. So he's very liberal in Ohio. He's definitely been a very good politician in that state, considered that he is still a senator from there. But going into 2024, with those increased trends favoring Republicans, Ohio has really become a likely to even safe Republican state, depending on the political climate. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about the target races. So those are the likely races. Now we're going to be heading into target races for Republicans. So in my mind, there are about, give or take, 4, 5 target races. I'm going to say 4 just for the sake of things. If you know what they are, I'm going to name them right now. You can take your guesses. Those are the states of Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Arizona. Arizona with Kyrsten Sinema. Now, I don't know if she's going to win her primary. I'm not going to really speak on Arizona because we really just don't know what things will be like. Because, of course, you know the Democrats are very, very upset with Kyrsten Sinema for siding with Joe Manchin, being a more moderate Democrat. And we just don't know who they would nominate in Arizona. If she's the nominee in Arizona, that could still remain in the Democrat column. But if she's not, and if the Democrats nominate a more left-wing person, even Mark Kelly or maybe even somebody more to the left of him, it will be different. Nevada, that's a state that's been trending, recently when you look at the demographic shifts and those party affiliation numbers in the state, it's been trending right. Now, that's also because we're headed into a red wave year, but also Hispanics are heavily shifting Republican. Not super heavily, but there is a drastic shift that's happening that is affecting the trends in certain states. And Nevada definitely could be a state to turn Republican. I think that Adam Laxalt will most likely win his Senate race, against, I believe it's Catherine Cortez Masto coming up this November. Heading into the state of Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin, very popular in Wisconsin. However, the Rust Belt, as I say, is shifting more and more Republican. You see black people and other minorities leaving the Rust Belt for states like Georgia and South Carolina and Texas. They are leaving those Rust Belt states behind. Tammy Baldwin's popularity only goes so far, similar to Pennsylvania, similar to even Debbie Stabenow in Michigan. I think that same thing, really similar reasons for Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Both are the target states because they believe that, or because of those shifts, and simply because of those reasons. Similar reasons with Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin, very similar people. Um, and I guess you would really kind of include Michigan with the target states, because Michigan, although it is slightly more Democrat than Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, it is still one of those states that is trending Republican due to those migrations from Michigan to more southern states, especially among black people. And then finally, I would say for the reach states, you would look at the state of possibly New Mexico. New Mexico is a state that, I hate to say it's trending right, because it's not trending right. Obviously, over the years, over the elections, it's been trending Democrat. But when you look at that recent governor's race in 2020, and you look at the Hispanic shift in 2024, 2 years ish from now, you could see a little bit of a bounce back, and you could see a slight opening for a Republican to win there. It obviously depends which Republican it is. Is it Rochet? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. If he's elected governor in 2022, would he run in 2024? That would be a bit weird if he thinks the climate works, but who knows? In Virginia as well, Mark Warner, that will be a reach state for Republicans. We saw back in, or actually, no, not Mark. Is this Mark Warner? I'm completely blanking on who this person is. If it's Mark Warner, then his race actually got very, very close. But I think it could be Tim Kaine. I'm not sure, actually. Sorry about that. For blanking on who actually is up for re-election in Virginia. Nonetheless, we'll see what Glenn Youngkin has to do in Virginia. His popularity is relatively popular for being a Republican in the state of Virginia. And he will have a significant sway in that Senate race. And that would be a reach state for Republicans. Suburban women, especially parents and mothers in those areas in Virginia, actually have been seen trending to the right. That's because Republicans have been able to have a good stronghold on the CRT issue and transgenderism in education, sexuality in education, and they would have a good shot, not a good shot, but a possible shot, a reach state at possibly taking the state of Virginia. And then finally, I would say probably the state of Minnesota, although Amy Klobuchar, very, very popular in Minnesota. That would be a reach state simply because of the fact that the Rust Belt is trending more Republican. But that would probably be the biggest reach, actually, more of a reach in my mind than Virginia and New Mexico. But yeah, anyway, that's really all I have for you. But, combining all the states that I just mentioned, that totals up to, let me just count this out. You have 7, 8, 9, 11 Senate races, 11 seats that are competitive, that Democrats have a good shot, or a significant shot at not winning and not retaining. And I would say 5 of which most likely will automatically shift. So that is very, very bad. They are looking to be headed into a bloodbath in 2024. They should brace for impact. They should make sure that they're nominating relatively moderate people. The political climate, if you hadn't noticed, is changing in this country. It is no longer that political climate of 2004, 2006. The establishment candidates are not as popular anymore, and people are going to people want authenticity. People want that charisma, that populist appeal, actually, on both wings of the party. And Democrats are going to have to be smart about who they nominate. Same with Republicans. But I do believe in the end, if Republicans figure out the right people to nominate, even if the Democrats figure out the right people, Republicans will have a good shot at winning. And, I guess you could include Angus King in Maine, although he's very popular, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to comment below your thoughts on the 2024 Senate races. And, do you agree with my sentiment? Do you think it'll be a bloodbath for Republicans? That's certainly how it looks to me at the moment. And, what do you think the Senate will look like going forward? Anyway, as I said, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are now headed for 600 subscribers, technically 49 away. So if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video below, and stay tuned for more. Have a great day.